Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first ever stream on Wake the Republic. And good to have everybody here. Showing 34 people right away. I saw one comment, why here it's still YouTube. The other channel is being blasted. Very close to having the other channel taken down. And Nikki, I have no idea why I didn't get a notification from PayPal, but thank you so much. I just sent you a return message. Usually I get a notification, but I did not on this one for whatever reason. Got a little gnat or something going on in here. It looks a little bit bigger than a gnat. So if you see me all of a sudden slamming, oh, I almost had it. It literally ran into this finger. Anyway, that will be that. How is everyone? Hopefully the microphone is working good. Biden should be smothered by an Afghan with an Afghan. This is basically going to be an open topic. I do have one thing, because you can't find anymore where it talks about things in orbit are actually falling. They have to be. They have to be. So I saw this article came in. Pardon me. Why didn't the Earth fall in the universe? Here's the answer. This is from John Woe, aircraft spacecraft systems designer. Oh, he's a designer. So he's a rocket scientist. It, meaning the Earth, is falling all the time, 24/7, 365 and a quarter days per year. We're falling towards the sun. But our speed is so great sideways that we keep missing it. So we just keep going around and around. That's what an orbit is. Same thing with the guys on the space station. They're falling also, just like when you go out and throw a rock. You're really putting it in an orbit about the center of the Earth. But you can't throw it hard enough to go all the way around, so it just lands on the surface. The space station is doing the same thing, falling, but it's moving fast enough sideways that it keeps missing the ground. It's in orbit. What a bunch of hogwash. So there you have it from a rocket scientist. So how do you have these satellites? Still, you have these NOAA satellites from the 1970s and GO satellites from the 1970s still up there. Also, falling by definition means you're accelerating. So the fall should accelerate, right? And these satellites don't have any way for them to fire themselves up to go faster and higher again. The sky is falling too, Jason. Yes, it's falling on them. So I just wanted to read that because you can't hardly find anymore where it says an orbit is falling around an object. They've taken that out because then they'd have to explain, like, why are these satellites up there all these years? And they take, like, the GO satellite, the geostationary, that have been up there for decades. They take the exact same picture every time. So they're not getting closer and closer. All of a sudden, they're not too close to where they can't take the same projection that they had before. There's a video I want to share, but this is on projection that they had before. This is on Wake the Republic. I mean, this is on Mr. Thrive and Survive in my history. So I have to get it.
A warning Friday from.
So let me see if I can search for it here and find it. This is something I've been telling you about that's coming. The title of the video is from Reuters news agency. I'll put the exact title in. and it came up. If you do that with some flat earth videos, it won't come up. This is called U.S. warns of violent COVID-19 related attacks. I've been talking about this, so I'm going to let you guys hear it. And especially what they say right at the very end. All right, let me mute my microphone. Here it comes, guys. It's only a minute and 19 seconds, or a minute and 35 seconds. Here we go.
Related restrictions as a reason.
Let me start it.
A warning Friday from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security that violent extremists could try and use the reimposition of COVID-19 related restrictions as a reason to conduct attacks. The department said that COVID-19 related stress has, quote, contributed to increased societal strains and tensions, driving several plots by domestic violent extremists, and they may contribute to more violence this year. In an interview with CNN, DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said his department sees domestic violent extremists as, quote, the greatest terrorist-related threat to our homeland, fueled by false narratives and ideologies of hate. The bulletin also warned of the increased risk of, quote, targeted violence as the U.S. prepares to mark the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks and around upcoming religious holidays. The latest DHS bulletin also noted that Al-Qaeda's Arabian Peninsula branch had recently released the first English-language version of its Inspire magazine in 4 years, which DHS says is evidence that violent foreign militants are still trying to inspire U.S. followers to engage in attacks. It also warned that media outlets linked to the Russian, Chinese, and Iranian governments had, quote, repeatedly amplified conspiracy theories about the origins of COVID-19 and the effectiveness of vaccines.
So, if you question the origins or the effectiveness of certain things, you're a domestic terrorist. You're trying to ghost me by coming over to this channel. Hello, Flip Flat. And we got Jason Frew back for more. I was stationed in Norfolk, back for more. Jason Frew, Anita, the Evangelista, JT, bend over. Sorry about the echo. I'm looking pale tonight. Oh, sticks. Hello, Kay. JT, I think I got you. Michael B. Roy Ayers, that's a new one. Don't remember that. Corey Murphy, I Need the Beach. Mark Harris, Paul Crane. JReb14, Jason Frew, Eric, Winston Sloan, Goat's Milk, I Need the Beach. Focal Shift, Cosmic Confusion, Marky 0306. Well, you guys had some good talk before we got on here. Marty 80, hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Nikki M, Winston Sloan. Have you been, Kay? Mark Harris. Anyway, it's about as far back as I go. And hello, Mike Ball. Space is cool. It's very cool. Very cool. I'm not used to seeing the Wake the Republic banner here, but there it is. I see it. So anyway. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Kay. Yes. Moderators. I need to make you moderators here. So first one up. Oh, let's see. How do I do this here? I have to go to the actual video itself. So if you are a moderator, just type in moderator and it'll all come up at once. Just a moment. Need to switch accounts. Need to switch accounts. Alrighty. It's coming in so fast. All right, Ben, you're a moderator. Sticks, you're a moderator. Mike, you're a moderator. No need for mods. We're all chill here. Focal shift. You'll moderate, huh? Well, just no focal. Alrighty, just be pretty lenient. You pretty much know what I like and don't like. So there you go. Alrighty. Now I can switch back and look at the stream the normal way. So, you know what? There's something I've been wanting to test. Hold on a second. Somebody tell me if nope, it doesn't work either. Let me try something else. Supposedly, there's a way for me to see if you're in the chat but not chatting. I don't remember how to do it. There's supposed to be a way to, you put a symbol in and then the beginning of the person's name and it'll pop up if they're there. Anyway, time for another time. Alrighty, so again, it's pretty much open tonight. And it says, I love how you let us have a little time with the trolls before booting. They need to learn. I did something tonight I haven't done in a long time. Can a helium balloon exit leave the atmosphere? I don't think so, Mark, because what happens is, well, no, because I don't think you can exit the atmosphere. Nothing does. But the problem is the materials were given in the public, it always bursts once it expands so far. Whereas there's different materials that they use, like NASA and the Army and different stuff like that. They use different materials that will not burst once they get up there. What I did today was, for the first time in a long time, I listened to X-22 report. I did it on the Charlie walk. I was like, nothing better to do, so let's just see. I got to tell you, some parts of it were really hard for me to stomach. It really was. I mean, it ended again with, and the Patriots are in complete control. Please, give me a break. Rich, the falling around a ball is nonsense. Exposed in my orbit video. Good, Mike. Very good. Yeah, those of you who haven't subscribed, go to Mike Ball's channel. At 40,000 feet, weight diminishes. Does it really? You know, a helium balloon, it rises fastest the closest it is to Earth, where gravity's strongest. Yeah, Ben, I saw the Richie from Boston, in case you haven't seen it. I think it was called Richie from Boston Goes Full Flat Earth. Let's see. Zero videos. Hold on. Isn't it funny how YouTube won't find that one? There we go. This was put up by Flat Earth Banjo. I don't think anybody else did. I will. I didn't like that video. No, I just corrected that. Let me get that link for you guys. Anybody wants to see it? It is called Richie from Boston Goes Full Blown Flat Earth. In case you didn't know, Richie from Boston. He actually showed one of my videos a long time ago. The moon is 70 miles wide video, and he agreed with it, but he's never committed until now. And he's like what most people should do. They should look at the evidence, and there's Rob Skiba showed declassified papers from the CIA, the Army, and some weapons manufacturer, I think, and a couple other places. And they all showed that everything was based on a flat, non-rotating Earth, which we know it is. And if you're in the military, you know it is. Christian CW. Oh, I don't know who that. Christian W says August 22nd for what? Trump? Yeah, you know what, Anna? They should give us a scale up on. Maybe the next time I fly, I'll take a scale to see if we're lighter at 40,000 feet. There's a calculator online that should tell you exactly how much lighter you would be. See if I can find that real fast. That would be interesting to know. Anybody can tell me when I have the 7,400 feet to the bag of corn that weighed 50 pounds at 3,200 feet? That's an online conversation. There is a calculator. I keep getting ideal weight for height calculators. That's all bogus too. BMI is the worst thing they ever came up with. It's all bull crap. I've got, and they'll go by it too. I went and had an MRI done on my shoulder, and I didn't have a totally full-blown six-pack then, but close, four-pack at least. And because my BMI was over 30 or whatever it was to make me technically obese on the BMI scale, the idiot technician actually wrote on my report, obesity noted. Richie was flat earth, then got tied up with Dutch sense, went all out ball. Now even Dutch sense is questioning the ball. Really? Good. Good. That's right, Paul. It wasn't properly pumped up. She would have seen it wasn't fat. Just another slight mistake by our medical geniuses. Like the food pyramid. Make sure you eat all those carbs. God forbid you eat fats. Keep off of salt. It's all lies, lies, lies. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, please thumbs up. The only links now here are for support. They're in the. Thanks to everybody who supports the channel. Thank you very much. All the Patreons, the people who go to PayPal and other ways. Again, we're at this channel because Mr. Thrive and Survive channel is severely under attack. And it's by someone. So always go by CDC guidelines. We're not going to have that one here. That's where they got me. See, what happened over there was I had been talking about you know what since it started, since March of 2020. And the efficacy of masks and stuff like that, do what the CDC says, of course. And then it was the efficacy of the jabs and stuff like that. And nothing was ever done, ever. Because I know how they're triggered. I know how their automatic algorithms look for videos like that. And I know how to avoid it. And I did. But what we got a person who reported the channel. That's what happened. And then every little thing now that happens, the channel is reported. Paul says carbs are the only macro that humans do not need to survive. That's 100% correct. Your body can take fats and protein and convert those into energy for the body. Religious exemption. Mike Ball sent me something today. Couldn't believe it. Still can't believe it. Our deep state governor, Doug Ducey, actually put out a statement and an executive order saying that no one in government can mandate the jabs. You can't fire somebody because of it. I was shocked. Seriously, shocked. Yeah, the food, all seeing eye pyramid, exactly. Peggy Hall, the Healthy American, has 25 ways. Yeah, Ben. I was talking to Mike today. I texted him about, these governors, because he in his statement, he said he highly recommends that all Arizonans get the jab. And I started thinking, I was like, if someone gets jabbed, and let's just say something goes wrong, not that it ever would, but let's just say something went wrong, they could easily say, hey, he recommended that I get it, so I got it. And then a lawyer would have no problem saying, the governor is not the doctor of this person that got jabbed. And yet he was recommending something that only a medical professional should be able to recommend. So they really opened themselves up for litigation, in case someone hasn't thought of that already. Think about that. That's right, Mike. Ducey also said if an employee has to miss a couple of weeks because of a positive test, they need to get paid for that time off. Wonder how urgent those tests are going to be to the employers now. Yeah. It's not mandatory you take the test. Stanley, huh? Okay. Say something, Stanley, so I can catch you on the other stream. Because I can't do it from here. I got to jump over. There you go. I got you. Ta-da! Thanks for the heads up sticks. What is OZ? Religious grounds, no excuse. Yeah, my ex, she works for the VA, and I think they've got till September 1st. And she said she was going to use religious reasons. And I was like, don't think that's going to go too well. My sister was actually told not to get it by her physician because she's got an autoimmune disorder. So I said, you may want to look into that. Lab alert changes to CDC, RT, PCR for SARS-CoV-2 testing. Yes, at the end of the year, they're going to be changing it over so they can differentiate between the flu and COVID, which means the current one can't differentiate between the flu and COVID. What is OZ? Oh, Australia. Funny, I never saw that before. Thank you, Sticky. So yeah, Mike Ball will destroy the Earth is always falling and everything is falling in orbit. Nothing falls in orbit because nothing's up there in orbit, first of all. And if it did, it wouldn't stay up there for decades. Yeah, Australia, I mean, to me, sorry for you people in Australia, but you have people in Australia that are actually more docile than they are in the United States, and that's bad. That is bad. It's 1984 in Australia. I was in Australia in 1983 or 82. And I loved it. Perth was fantastic. Reminded me of home. Ben says, Dave Matthews sent out a text to my girlfriend going to show in a couple of weeks. She needs a negative test within 48 hours or the jab, plus they have to wear masks. I understand France is like 2 weeks into its, let me go to DuckDuckGo. 2 weeks into their protests. Because there they mandated you had to be jabbed or you can't do business. You can't visit a business. Let's see. Fifth weekend. Wow. Fifth weekend. I think I got that little. No, I didn't. Protesters in France announce COVID health pass rules for fifth weekend. The number of people being treated for COVID-19 in intensive care units has more than doubled, prove it, in less than a month, standing at 1,831 as of Friday. That's less than a third of the third lockdown peak of 6,001, but high enough to trigger restrictive measures in certain areas. Well, if they handled 6,000, what's 1,800 going to do? Please, yeah. Let me see if I can find a video. Wow. This is from the Associated Press, so I should be able to. Where's this? What's that Sunday show? Press the Face. I know what it's called. Let's take a look at this. Compare this to your neighbors here in America. Just compare it. I'll put the audio on, and I will mute this time. I did mute last time, but it didn't mute. This microphone's weird. I mean, I pushed the button, but it didn't mute. You know what? I'm going to mute it on the screen this time. That way I'll know it's working. So take a look at this. Again, compare it to what your neighbors are putting up with here in the United States. Let me mute myself for a moment. Well, there you have it. Well, others showed up to protest Macron. They had plenty of chances to get rid of Macron. This is still playing in the background. That was a different one. Went to another one. Alrighty. Whoa. I just got this on Telegram, and I will have to edit it. All certain people will die within 2 years. Nobel laureate Luc Montagnier has confirmed that there is no chance of survival for people who have received any form of the thing. In the shocking interview, the world's leading virologist stated bluntly, there is no hope and no possible treatment for those who have already been indoctrinated. We must be prepared to cremate the bodies. The scientific genius backed up the claims of other eminent virologists after studying the ingredients of the thing. They will all die from antibody-dependent enhancement. That is all that can be said. But that's scary, since I know 2 people that, including my daughter, who has gotten the thing. Wow. And like I said, I checked out the numbers, because this came from, if anybody's listening on YouTube, this came from an official news source, Arizona 12 News, who said 1% of those who got vaccinated, only 1%, that's what they put the word only in there, only 1% of those who got vaccinated are getting the Delta variant. And when I looked up the numbers, and you look up the numbers who they say are vaccinated in the state, then the people who have tested positive, they're all people who got vaccinated. There's no other people. In fact, if they're the 1%, because 1% of the people are not getting sick here in Arizona, not even 1/10 of 1%. Always listen to the CDC, though. They know. They know. Oh, you know the biggest thing I couldn't deal with X22 report. says this whole thing in Afghanistan, it was planned because of them going to release the audit results here in Arizona to take up the news cycle. So they planned for this to take up the news cycle. I don't know what to say, but stupid is as stupid does. I mean, please, come on. But at least the Patriots are in full control. Can you imagine if they weren't? How bad it would be? I still think good stuff's coming, but not the way we think. So the report is supposed to be given to our Senate. The preliminary report, it's not the report the public will see. The preliminary report is going to be given to the Arizona Senate by the end of this week on the results of the forensic audit. And then the Senate will look at it, and then they'll do a report, and then they'll release that. God knows when, but then they'll release it. However, I don't see how it would be any different than what Mike Lindell's come up with. Mike Lindell's come up with 2 big bombshell reports, and it goes nowhere, and it means nothing. And according to X22, hi, and thanks for listening to the X22 report. According to him, this is what's going to wake people up, knowing that Trump actually won the election, according to certain people, YouTube. And I don't get that, because the majority of people know what happened in November. The majority of people know, even Democrats know. They know. Democrats know, independents know, Republicans know. It's way beyond the majority of the people know what happened. So how is that going to wake people up? They already know it. I just don't get that part of it. Sorry, I keep hitting the table here. The crap about them in control may be mad that they didn't stop it right away. They may be waiting for a trigger, but it does not look like they control anything. I agree 100% back for more. As I keep saying, if this means the Patriots are in total control, then I don't want them in control. You're right, JT. Questioning the election results is potential terrorist attack, and that's the terrorist attack. That's the truth. That's according to our State Department. Always listen to the State Department, the CDC, the WHO, the NIH, your doctor. Always. Anybody in authority, your governor, the president. Wow, Mike, I don't know how you can do it. He's definitely a hopium addict, that's for sure. But except for certain things that are happening today, like what's happening in Afghanistan, and what's happening with the forensic audit, he could have recorded that a year ago, and it would be the same thing. The Patriots are in complete control. I really believe at the end of this month is when it's all coming together now. This has been the trigger. Then we have a 3-year delta. Soon, guys, we're going to have 4-year deltas. 4-year deltas coming in November. Coming into a delta variant near you. Trump on Dan Bongino said he recommends the jab, but also believes in freedom of choice. Absolutely correct. That's what he said. Like I said, I don't know about these politicians recommending things, and they're not doctors. Why don't I know about that name, Stanley? People here remember the, am I pronouncing it right? Thalidomide? Thalidomide disaster. Remember thalidomide? It's totally safe for morning sickness. Yeah, it wasn't very safe. I don't remember that name of it, though. Must be a, it must be because of the Mandela effect. It was changed in my mind. I agree, Ben, 100%. But I have noticed, and I'm sure you all have noticed too, there must be, I'm not watching mainstream media, I'm not watching it all, but there must be a shift because all of a sudden now more people are wearing masks. It completely disappeared at my gym. I mean, finally, completely disappeared. Now it's coming back. About a week or so ago, it was like 1 or 2. Today was like 5 or 6. It was like, I go to the grocery store. Oh, and there's no doubt this time. Before, I was like, I think slightly more women are wearing masks than men. There's no doubt now. It's way more women than men wearing masks. I don't know why that is, but it is. I've seen husband and wife at the grocery store. The husband's not wearing one, but the wife is. But that's here. I mean, that could be highly variable no matter where it is. But here, where I live in Mesa, Arizona, women in particular, and at this time, more and more kids are wearing masks out, with their parents at the store and stuff like that. If they just knew, I can't go there. Good point, Danny. Saying the Taliban took over when we left is like saying when we left Iraq, the Shia and Sunnis took over. They live there. And here's the thing. Here's the big thing, Danny and everybody else. Who the F cares? Who cares about Afghanistan? I don't care if Adolf Hitler gets resurrected and takes over Afghanistan. I don't care. Why should we care? Why should one more American die in Afghanistan? Because why? Because they supposedly were a breeding ground for terrorists who didn't come from there. Even the official narrative, which, of course, you have to believe the official narrative. This is the totalitarian Goebbels state. But they said they all came from Saudi Arabia. Remember? The 17 terrorists or 11 terrorists, whatever the number was. They all came from Saudi Arabia. They came over and they went to school and they learned how to fly, but they weren't interested in how to land planes. Even the narrative, it gets stupid. Even the stupid stories they come up with get stupid. They weren't interested in landing. They just wanted to know how to fly it. Anyway, who cares? Who cares? What happened to the Monroe Doctrine? Let them do what they want to do. They're not threatening us. It was a sedative drug from Germany, I think. It was more of a Canadian thing than in the U.S., if I recall. They did have it in the U.S., Stanley, but it wasn't by that name. There was another name, which makes sense because that happens a lot with drugs. They're called something, one thing in the United States and different in other places. Now, Biden is bringing the Taliban back. Let them come back. Who cares? They didn't do anything to us. They never did a thing to us. Until we went over there, then of course they fought back. What if they came over here? Would we fight them? Yeah, I think so. Good evening, Pirate Pete. Oil pipeline. There's the big one, Danny. And poppy plants. That's another big one. But you know what they did was they kind of killed off the poppy plants with the opioid crisis that was supposedly going on. Now you have people screaming out in cancer pain, can't get opioids. We are a sick freaking nation. We are sick. When I heard about what's her face who had that spinal cancer that died, what was her channel called? Headlines with a Voice, Nancy Morgan Hart, and she was screaming out in pain, dying from spinal cancer, and they wouldn't give her opioids. I mean, whoever was involved in all that, the doctor, the politician, they all should be lined up against the wall and somehow given the exact amount of pain she was given and told if she still can't have opioid pain, they give them a trigger so they can hit like they do when people in the hospital, like after surgery, you can hit the thing every so often and get an opioid hit so your pain goes down, and say, let's see how much you can stand before you hit the button. All these wimpy little politicians and doctors, they'd be hitting that button all the time. So that'd have sodium cyanide in there. A-holes. Oh, she might get addicted to it. Yeah, I guess that was solved when she died. I'll tell you one thing, guys. If I ever get diagnosed with something like cancer and they won't give me opioids, then, yeah, I'll be suicidal. I suffer with pain 24/7. I'm not going to add extra to it. But you have these wimpy little doctors and politicians. They'd be hitting the button before they're even given the pain. Oh, I want to prevent it. I want to prevent it. I'm sorry about the opioid cut down. Just like everything else in this country, you think you can control the people and what people can put in their bodies, and it's idiotic. It's totally idiotic. And we vote for these people. We happily go along with putting tyrants out there. Ways around pain. By the way, I did find that one version of turmeric, if I take five capsules, 5 times the dose, it actually does work. It's that patented version. Here it is. It's freaking expensive, so. Curcumin with curcumin, CURCUWIN. That's the patented version. That 46 times better absorption over the standard, and I think it's 9 or 10 times better absorption than if you have the pepper with it, pepperine, or bioperine, whatever it's called. So 5 does give me, like, I took 5 until I ran out when I had bad pain at night, and it did help me get to sleep because the pain eased enough. So there you go, wide awake. Yeah, you might want to look into that stuff because it's actually, I think it's 9 times more absorbable than even the kind with black pepper. But it's probably 9 times more expensive too, at least. Have I ever taken non-cannabis-based terpenes? I don't even know what that is. So probably not. I've done the wild lettuce. I've done, what's the other one that everybody talks about? In fact, I've still got wild lettuce in there. I took half the bottle, and not one time, but it didn't do anything. What's it called? Begins with a K. Yeah, digital voting machines are what get politicians elected. Yeah, rock solid. You might have told me that before. Somebody else did. Red pepper is more potent. Yeah, but what does it do to your stomach? Anything? Does your stomach handle it okay? Kratom. Thank you, Rethink. Kratom. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Which, by the way, someone in Congress is trying to ban Kratom. You think maybe they're being funded maybe by some pharmaceutical company somewhere, and maybe not in the United States, but like in Honduras. But yeah, I'd be willing to red pepper. Is that like rock solid? Is that like the red peppers you put maybe on a pizza or something, like the dried red pepper? Kratom interfered with the thyroid. I tried Kratom and got nothing. I kind of felt sick after I took Kratom, but I didn't. I didn't get pain relief. Maven, are you subscribed to Wake the Republic here? And when you subscribe, did you say you get notifications? And if you did all that, what you may have to do is unsubscribe, subscribe again, and hit the subscribe bell once again because of YouTube's powder. Okay. Oh, it's cayenne pepper. Oh yeah, thanks for answering the question. Yeah, we're 50 minutes in. Do you guys see a clock when you're on the stream? I have a clock. 51:30 right now. 51 minutes 30 seconds. Yeah, maybe. You know, YouTube. Certain things they do great, certain things they totally stink at. And if you have subjects that they don't like, they stink at stuff you need them not to stink at. Can in a powder form 90 international units. Yeah, every comment does have a timestamp. Has it always been there? And it works for pain, Beverly? I mean, I have chronic pain, and it gets bad at nights. It's from a Navy injury. Plus, I have a shoulder problem. I've got two shoulder problems now. One is a torn rotator cuff, pretty bad too. I should have surgery, but I just can't do it. Eddie Flowers Benji just put a video out. High altitude balloon with aperture set for starlight. Great video proves the Earth is flat. Oh, I'll have to see that if you just put it out. I haven't seen it yet. Stanley says, yes, Kratom works for some people without the devastating addiction of opioids. I tried it and didn't do much, but I think it may have something to do, take a few weeks for it to work. Hey, you know what, Stanley? What's weird is I was on opioids for a long, long time. And okay, Anna, thank you. Gives you a few hours pain management. Now I lost my train of thought. I never got when I stopped taking it, it was like cold turkey. They were like, oh, you have to taper down and blah, blah, blah. Nothing. No addiction, nothing. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I never had any addiction problems to it. How many people have heard of I doubt many of you have tried this, but might as well find out. It is called it'll ever load here. Pignogenol, something like that. Come on, load it up. It's funny how all of a sudden Amazon won't load. What it is it's pine bark extract. Pine bark extract. They don't want people using kratom for withdrawal. They'd rather put them on Suboxone or gabapentin. Gabapentin, do you remember, I don't know, many of you who have been here a while, you remember I had this issue at one time when I had trouble typing or moving my mouse because my hands were doing this. That was from that drug, gabapentin. Parapete takes magnesium for pain. I take magnesium too, not for pain, but I take it. Paul, you've taken pine bark? I'm getting it because of its possible nitric oxide effects. Yeah, how many people have seen the commercials that are coming on where people are advocating for kratom because Congress is trying to get rid of it? Remember I told you they got rid of... I just trashed my remote control. So later I'll be looking for it. Like, what did I do with it? This right here. They banned this. Congress did. Right after a study came out saying it was proven effective against, I don't know, some certain sickness going around. They banned it. Isn't pine bark turpentine? You might make turpentine out of it. Yes, I have. You know what? Is Jay Tolan still putting out stuff? Because I don't get anything all of a sudden from him. He is a flat earther and an engineer. He figured out the distance to the sun is to us. He uses specialized equipment, uses filters when flying. Awesome. Yes, Jay Tolan Media. Here we are at 42,000 feet. And as you can clearly see, there is no curvature. Turpentine is made from pine trees, kills parasites. Yeah, he's the one that came out with the awesome idea of using filters on aircraft to see how far he could see. And what is it? He saw the Hudson's Bay over Utah or something like that. Found a full bottle of NAC at your dad's. Were you looking for it, Anna? I mean, did you know? I guess maybe you knew it was banned. NAC, it's called N-acetylcysteine. It's just a piece of a protein, but it's very, very good. It's a good antioxidant, and the liver loves it. You want to rejuvenate your liver, get NAC. And evidently, it's very effective in getting rid of a certain sickness. Right, Jason, can't have that. But when I heard, I was like, what? They're banning, how can they even legally, they can't legally under the Steroid Control Act of 1982. They cannot ban NAC. It's found in nature and it's found in your body. That's it. If it meets those two requirements, they can't ban it. Everybody takes CBC and cayenne. The cayenne is good for the blood. I'm also taking organic measures to destroy my aging bones. Good for you, Beverly. Good for you. Yeah, I look at all that stuff as true medicine. First, about 2 years worth of kratom and have it vacuum sealed with oxygen eaters. Not sure if it would keep. It probably will, but I know it's going to be banned soon. Good for you, Flip. That's good. If you have something vacuum sealed, as long as you don't expose it to extreme temperatures one way or the other, well, especially warm, then you're probably good to go 15, 20 years, maybe even longer. Gabapentin made my mother have Parkinson's symptoms. So did I. I actually went to the doctor because I was worried. I was like, do I have Parkinson's? Because I was having this. It was literally doing this. I want to do something. It was, and just like Parkinson's, if I grabbed something, it would stop. And then I'd let go and it would come back. And I was really worried about it. So I went to the doctor and she asked me like 3 questions. Like, do you also have it here? Do you have it here? Do you have it here? And all of them except for my hands were no. And she said, no, it's not Parkinson's. I was like, oh, well, that's good to know. And she said, any new drugs lately? Because she doesn't always know because I get drugs from the VA sometimes. This is when I was off of opioids. And I said, look, can't you give me something for the pain other than opioids? Yeah, we can give you gabapentin. I was like, all right, I'll try it. That was the result. Sticks, you took gabapentin for years until I was switched to Lyrica. So what happened is gabapentin probably lost its patent, but Lyrica came out. It was still patented, so they make more money that way. How do you like all this stuff that we're not capable as adults of deciding we should have? Like, what is this stuff I get for allergies? I used to get, there's one called Zyban, and there's one called, hold on. Not Claritin. Begins with an F. Flonase, stuff like that. Or Pepsid AC, Prevacid. All these things we're not adult enough to be able to decide if we could have these or not. We have to go to a doctor, pay the doctor, and get a prescription for it, right? Then all of a sudden the patent runs out, and then you can buy it off the shelf at the drugstore. Isn't that amazing? Totally freaking. And this is the system we keep voting for and keep staying in and telling the politicians, we tell everybody by voting for them. I'm now becoming an anti-voter. We got to get rid of this system. We got to stop elevating people over us and telling us as adults what we can put in our bodies, what we have to wear on our face or not, what we have to put in our body or not, if our store can be open or not. We have to stop this nonsense. Yay, Anna, I am with you. It's ridiculous. Every injustice thing should be legal self-accountability. Absolutely. And wherever they legalize everything, things get better. Do a case study on Portugal, who had unbelievable crime, unbelievable homelessness, unbelievable crud in the streets, all because of they had some of the harshest drug laws in the world. So they said, this isn't working. So they got rid of all of it. Nothing, no drug laws. Want drugs? Go to the drugstore and buy them. We don't care. No problems. All the homelessness went away. Organized crime went away. The streets cleaned up. People then who were afraid, who were addicted to drugs, who were afraid to go and get help because they thought they would go to jail, now are getting help. Amazing. You take government out of the way, things just work better. Raven says, you said you weren't going to vote in the presidential election, but you changed your mind and voted. I told you don't buy into that. It's all rigged, so you lose either way. What I did was, Maven, I made a deal with Mike Ball. Because you're right, I was not going to vote. And I made a deal with Mike Ball because we had, to me, the more important things are things we can change locally. Legalization of marijuana was on the ballot. So I made a deal with him. If he voted for that, because I knew that was going to be a close one. He wanted me to vote for president. And I said I would if he would vote the way I wanted on marijuana. And so we made that deal. Ben says, I vote a libertarian. I hope for the love of freedom, people finally see the two-winged bird isn't working for us. Yeah, you know what? You know who out of everybody right now for president, you know who I would really want in there? The only one that's actually come out against all this nonsense, hasn't been afraid to say his mind on it. And he's a doctor, and he's been banned from YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff. And that's Rand Paul. He's the only one. And guess what? People are like, well, he's just an eye doctor. He's a virologist. Did you know that? He's also a virologist. Paul says again, like I said last time, volunteers, anarchists, no ruling class, and no laws enforced where there is no injured party. 100% behind you, Paul. Yeah, even voting libertarian, it's just, it's a step in the right direction, but we just have to get rid of it. Goat's milk. Trudeau just called the fastest election in history. Yeah, is he going to be able to get it? I don't know how that works overseas. Can you just call for an election in Canada and they have to have it? Richard Hennessy says, been eating raw organs and meat for 5 years. Not once ever getting sick. Well, pork, liver, chicken. Yeah, there you go. But that's all bad for you, Richard. It's bad. I'm telling you, whatever you're told, think the opposite. I do remember, Stanley. You know, the thing with Ron Paul, that was the year that I actually wrote in Ron Paul, even though he didn't make the final cut. Because I definitely didn't want to vote for either one of the other choices. 2012 was the Romney versus Obama. That was easy to write in Ron Paul. Very easy. The thing is, they would chew Ron Paul up because he's too nice of a guy. I mean, you got to have a person with the backbone of Trump, but with the belief system of Rand Paul. But even then, it's just because you can't get rid of all of them. It's just the bureaucracy. It's just got to go. The name for NAC, it's N-acetylcysteine. Let me see if I can look it up for you. N-acetyl, acetylcysteine, cysteine. And these people are still selling it? Wait a minute. Let me go there and see if it's actually for sale. Somebody's selling this for $90. 600 milligrams. How many capsules? 90 capsules? Oh, 360 capsules. Okay. Still $90. N-acetylcysteine is pretty cheap. There's people still selling it. I think they're allowed to sell it until it's gone. Please note, as of May 2021, has an expiration date of January or February 2023. Larger quantity bottles may be out of stock. Hold on a second. Let me read this article. Maybe I've got it wrong. FDA changes in use of NAC and its impact on baseline. In July of 2020, the FDA sent warning letters to specific companies stating that N-acetylcysteine, NAC, cannot be lawfully marketed as a dietary supplement. In fact, it was tested as a drug in the 1960s. So who cares how it was tested in the 60s? It's not a freaking drug for treatment and acetaminophen poisoning. That's another thing. Every stinking opioid you get's got to be laced with acetaminophen. You think there's any kind of cooperation there with the government and the makers of Tylenol? Anyway, and prevention of severe liver damage. That's what I was saying. It was very good for the liver. With recent revelations of the efficacy of NAC in possibly treating and being highly effective as a component in drastically improving immune health, think what's happening right now, the FDA had decided to ban its sale as a supplement. Why? Because of its efficacy of NAC in possibly treating and being highly effective as a component in drastically improving immune health. The FDA has decided to ban its sale as a supplement. What kind of a world do we live in? With that, Amazon decided to remove all the supplements containing NAC from its website. The legality of NAC used and sold in supplement form was finalized. What's that mean? It's expected that many retailers will be quickly pulling NAC off their shelves despite fundamentally disagreeing with FDA decisions. FDA, Food and Drug. What? Hold on. NAC is an essential amino acid. We must consume it via supplementation because our body cannot create it naturally. NAC is a precursor of L-cysteine, which is vital in replenishing levels of glutathione. That's another thing. It's very good for the glutathione system. NAC may also improve insulin resistance. Can't have that. You got to be on metformin or insulin. Sorry. As well as increase ovulation and pregnancy. We don't want you pregnant either. Occurrence in women with PCOS. Research has also shown that NAC may be beneficial as part of treatment for psychological disorders like OCD and addiction. God forbid we can't have this on the shelves. Through research and confident decision-making, we've resolved to replace NAC in baseline with L-cysteine hydrochloride. This form of L-cysteine is bound to hydrochloride to assist in absorption. Probably does something that the NAC doesn't do, or vice versa. I can go out and buy cigarettes, though. I can go out and buy alcohol. I can go out and buy rubbing alcohol and drink it if I want. But I can't buy NAC. You got it. But you always need to listen, Richard. FDA, criminal organization responsible for thousands of early deaths. But listen to them. They're authority. Paul, you're right. It's almost as bad as ephedra. That was another thing. Something that actually works. People were actually losing weight. If you're too young to remember this, it was called the ECA stack. Ring a bell with anybody? The ECA stack. That was ephedra, caffeine, and aspirin. And people were losing weight like crazy. Can't have that. They don't want us to be healthy, Stanley says. It's not profitable for medical and pharmaceutical industries. Absolutely. Paul says, I love ephedra. And then what they did was, they have these pseudo-ephedra things that now you have to, if you want to get these like cold remedies, you can buy some in the front of the store. But I was looking for a certain brand that had helped me before. I was having nasal issues, and I was like, none of these ever did much to whatever. And I was talked to the pharmacist. I said, there was a certain brand. She goes, oh, everything that's good is behind the counter now. You have to show your ID. I was like, what? Yeah, because some kids use it to make drugs or something like that. I was like, what? So I have to show my ID, and I can only buy a certain amount at a time. And she told me, she said, if you buy over so many boxes, you could actually be visited by an authority to see what you're doing with it. So because some people are using it for bad, all the rest of us have to pay the price. A cured patient is a lost customer. Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. And do you know how they got rid of it? I know this because I'm an Orioles fan. They got rid of ephedra. There was a Orioles pitcher who was trying to make the major leagues. He was a minor league pitcher. And he shows up in spring training in Florida where they had an unusually hot spring there. It was in the upper 90s, I believe. And he's about 40 pounds overweight. And on an empty stomach, he takes about six to 8 times the recommended dose of ECA stack or ephedra. They didn't say he took the ECA stack. He ends up dying. Not from that. He had a congenital heart defect. He had a hole in his heart. But because he had ephedra in his system, that was the excuse that we have to ban this because the American people, they can't decide whether to take this or not. And this could happen to anybody else. Millions of people are taking it daily. It was the biggest fad going whenever it came out. I can't even remember when it came out. Maybe the 90s, early 2000s. Man, it was a good pre-workout too. Wow. Oh, the other night I was trying to think of the one thing in a stimulant that I cannot stand. And of course, after the chat, I remembered it's Yoanbine. Oh my God, that makes me so sick. Paul remembers it. Yeah, you can't get it anymore. My son figured a way to get it. He can figure anything out. But anyway, he's like, yeah, I can get it from here. You can get it overseas. Overseas, they're not stupid like here. Nobody seems to be dying overseas from ephedra. Only here. Crack seems to work pretty good for Hunter Biden. And that's not, somebody wants to do crack, let them do crack. They're going to do it anyway. They're just going to do it illegally now. I'm trying to remember when that was. That was the early 90s. That was the early 90s because it was right after I started working out again, which was a year or two after my youngest son was born. He was born in 90. No, so this was early 2000s. He was born in 96. So this was late 1990s, early 2000s. Orioles pitcher Steve Belcher. I have a picture of him here. He's fat. He shouldn't be fat if he's trying to make the major leagues. Anyway, this happened in 2002. Baltimore Orioles pitcher Steve Belcher, 23, died of heat stroke last week after his body temperature rose to 42 degrees Celsius. The Broward County medical examiner, Dr. Joshua Perper, concluded that he died of complications of heat stroke, which resulted in multi-organ failure. And you find out that, then it says a federal supplement may have contributed to sportsman's death. They just can't let it go. Any little freaking thing. I knew they were going to wait for an excuse because it was like, people are actually losing weight on this because it killed your appetite. It really did. You didn't want to eat what you wanted. I might argue with carfentanil also. You're talking about fentanyl? What's the problem with fentanyl? Anybody know what the problem with fentanyl, why so many people die from fentanyl? Anybody know why? The main reason people die from fentanyl is because, you ready for this? It's illegal. What happens is, because people can't legally get it, it comes in from overseas. China is a big one. It comes from the Orient, comes through Mexico. And what they do is, sometimes it's not cut correctly. It's not 1/10 of whatever the dose is supposed to be. It's supposed to be cut to a certain part so it's not deadly. And sometimes it's not. So one time, one person might take a little teeny bit, let's say 5 milligrams, and it's fine. Then the next time they take 5 milligrams, it kills them. Why? Because it's not controlled, because it's coming in from an illegal source. All this disappeared in Portugal. If you ever get the time, find articles on it, do a case study on it. It's amazing. COVID contributed to his death. Oh. They dug him up last week and performed a second autopsy. The heat stroke variant. Oh. Yeah, he had the hokey pokey. I'm going to show you a picture of this guy. This is a guy trying for the major leagues. And I'm not making fun of him. I'm not. But you're 23 years old. You're a professional athlete. All right. And when you look this big in a uniform, you're big. That's too big. And you show up out of shape and go to pitching in Florida. A federal linked to baseball death. Bum, 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 BBC. You know it's true now if it comes from the BBC. A controversial herbal stimulant contributed to the death of budding U.S. baseball star. A medical expert has confirmed. It's not what the autopsy said. The finding will intensify calls for the stimulant ephedra to be banned. Steve Belcher, a pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles, died at the age of 23 from multiple organ failure last month. All because of ephedra. A Florida medical examiner said on Thursday that the death was due to complications from heat stroke, which resulted from factors including the consumption of Xenadrine, a herbal food additive that contains ephedra. So it wasn't even just straight up ephedra. It was Xenadrine. Broward County. Boy, we can trust Broward County. We know that county. Broward County. Medical examiner Joshua Pepper said that significant amounts of ephedrine, the stimulant in the herb ephedra, were found in Belcher's blood. So, doesn't mean it killed him. He said shortly after Belcher's death that the player took 3 daily tablets of Xenadrine RFA1, one brand of supplement containing ephedra. Belcher collapsed while taking part in spring training before the start of Major League Baseball season as the temperature soared to 42 degrees Celsius. He died the next day. Medical records indicate Belcher was overweight and suffered from mild hypertension and abnormal liver function. He was doing more than just ephedra. Ephedra didn't affect your liver. Last month, U.S. researchers called for ephedra to be banned. You mean the pharmaceutical companies? Suggesting using it is hundreds of times riskier than other remedies. Products containing ephedra, or Meihong, are used to promote weight loss and boost energy, and they did both. Natural, too. What's not mentioned here is he had a congenitive heart defect. He had a hole in his heart. What is 42 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? Convert 42 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. I think it's close to 100. Convert 42 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. lest I throw you away. Oh, 107 degrees. 107 degrees. You think that might have killed him? 107 degrees. You think Major League Baseball, the Orioles should be held accountable. The Orioles should be held accountable. Why are you out there, especially with a fat, out-of-shape pitcher, having him probably run and pitch on the mound in 107-degree weather? And it was right at the very beginning of spring training. Simply put, you either control what you put in your body or it controls you. But ultimately, you're the choice, right? No, we have to act like you don't really become an adult at 21 in this country where you can make your own decisions unless it's sanctioned. That means it's taxed heavily, like alcohol, cigarettes, things like that. If it's heavily taxed, you can do it all day and all night. And we'll tell you it's bad for you, but we won't ban it because we're not really against stuff that really kills you. We're just against stuff that doesn't give us tax revenue or doesn't give revenue to the people that back us politicians, like pharma, stuff like that. He had overweight 19. Yep. Delta variant. The J&J is the one that my nephew got. For more, our choice. Yes, it should be our choice. Why do we give our authority to people to tell us? Think of what the authority we've given over to. And this all happened, only libertarians were screaming back in 2001, 2002, Patriot Act. Only libertarians were screaming about what this was going to bring. And it's coming to fruition right now. It was that very act which gave, under state of emergency, which we're constantly in a state of emergency. We've been in a state of emergency since 2001. And they've added all kind of other emergencies on top of it. So you get rid of one, there's 18 more still in place. Gives the governors the authority to be dictators, to tell what businesses can be open, what businesses can be closed. If you go out, what you have to wear and what you don't have to wear. If you come to work, what you have to have in your body or not have in your body. What you consume and what you can't consume. You can't consume a Federal or NAC, but you can go out and get some Pall Malls and get some Colt 45 malt liquor all day long. And you can't be trusted to take Flonase unless you go to a doctor until the patent expires. Then all of a sudden you can make the decision yourself. You don't need a doctor. See, once the patent expires, the doctors don't have to write a prescription for it anymore. Or it's not worthy to be in that system anymore for the money because you can't gouge the system for it. You can't charge $250 to the insurance company for a product that nobody would pay more than $30 for. So it goes onto the shelves. And it's not cheap either. They'll still get $40, $50, $60 for the product. It's just not going through the many different hands. It's not going through the doctor's hands and the pharmaceutical rep and the pharmaceutical company and the manufacturer. It's not going through all those hands anymore. And the insurance company. Let's not forget them. Very true, North Shore. I'm not going to read it. Other people can. It's on the screen. Always go by the CDC. I guess you're okay with crocodile. Desomorphine. If it's morphine, I'm okay with everything. That should be simple. Everything. Your choice. I don't have the right to tell you that you can't buy cigarettes. You don't have the right to tell me I can't take heroin. I've never taken heroin. But if I wanted to, you don't have the right to tell me I can't. And I don't have the right to tell you that you can drink or not drink. And I don't have the right to tell you what prescriptions you can take or not take, or supplements you can take or not take. But that's exactly the control we've given over to these idiots who don't know anything about anything. They follow the dollars. And all the places that make it so it's truly a libertarian system, look up Portugal as a whole nation that did it, things become beautiful. They become orderly. Less people die, not more. There's less crime, not more. There's more responsibility, not less. You're just tricked by the system into thinking that you need someone to overlord you because somehow you can't make a decision. Oh, if this was available, then everybody would be dying. No, I wouldn't go out and be shooting heroin in my arm. Even if I could, I know I could get it. You can get anything. You can get anything you want. All you have to have is the cash. The question is, what kind of quality control are you going to have over it? Not much. That's right. No taxpayers paying for the rehab. Thank you, Paul. Oh, you're coming up with some good ones. It's against the law to commit suicide, so we must take the jab. Wow. I did not bring that up, High Vibes. LA County has now added grocery stores to the list of places you have to prove you've been jabbed. I got to look that up. LA County grocery stores. It comes up LA County grocery stores COVID without me even putting it in. YouTube sucks so bad. They don't even give you stuff in order of date. Five days ago, LA moves toward requiring proof of COVID vaccine indoors at restaurants, bars, gyms, stores. How can the government tell a private business what they must and must not require? Amid a new surge in coronavirus cases and hospitalizations, we're all seeing the surge, aren't we? Los Angeles on Wednesday moved toward requiring proof of COVID-19 vaccinations indoors at restaurants, gyms, stores, and other spaces. Well, they should if the CDC says they should. The Los Angeles City Council voted to direct the city attorney to draft an ordinance requiring patrons to have at least one dose of the vaccine to be able to enter indoor public spaces. Well, maybe the Los Angeles City Council needs to be lined up against the wall. I'll leave it at that. The motion was introduced by Council President Neri Martinez and Councilman Mitch O'Farrell last week. Applies to restaurants, bars, retail establishments, fitness centers, spas, and why don't they just say entertainment centers like stadiums, concert venues, and movie theaters? Why don't they just come out with a list where it doesn't apply to? That would be simpler. This doesn't apply to what? Walmart, Costco? Probably. God forbid you cut their customers out. You can go in with 1,000 people, all mauling for the same toilet paper at Walmart, but you can't go into a 4 people inside an Italian restaurant because they're closed down. Is there a proven increase in COVID variant death? I'm open to hear it if everybody's found it. See what the CDC says. CDC.gov. Disease and conditions. Oh, the CDC is responding to the coronavirus outbreak. Oh, I feel so much better now. Vaccines and immunocompromised individuals. CDC recommends an additional mRNA COVID-19 vaccine dose. What? For people that are immunocompromised, they're saying get an additional one? Interesting. Delta variant. We know about the science. Well, we don't. Inform us. On July 27, 2021, CDC released updated guidance on the need for urgently increasing COVID-19 vaccine coverage and a recommendation for everyone in areas of substantial or high transmission. Where the hell is an area of substantial or high transmission? Let's click on the link and see what it says. Oh, it gives you different counties. Oh, they're all red. There's a few yellow and a few blue, but they're all bad. Let's see. Level of transmission, cases. Reported cases. Oh, I love this. They do this reported cases per 100,000 population. Why don't you do it per 100 population or even per 1,000? That way you could easily do the math to find the percentages. Let's go to Maricopa County. I know you can't see this, but I'm just going to see. Reported cases per 100,000. What do we got here? We are in the 100 to 200, I think, color. Let's just say it's 200. So we have 200 people per 100,000. Wow. These are a lot different numbers than they put on our signs here. We have these screen signs here when you're driving down the road. Join 3.8 million Arizonans. Get vaccinated. They put it up all the time. According to this, to the CDC, there's only 1,942,000, not 3.8 million. That's a big disparity. That's almost a 2 million number variant. I love this link. How to find a COVID-19 vaccine. If you can't find a COVID-19 vaccine, you can't find your way out the front door. You need to be living in a home somewhere. If you can't find a COVID-19 vaccine, you need to seriously think about assisted living, have somebody else take care of you. All right, so what you have to do is you have to take this number, since we'll say it's 200. It could be as low as 100, but we're going to say the high number, 200. Just like with the globe earth people, we always go in their favor. So we have 200 people per 100,000. That means we have 20 people per 10,000, 2 people per 1,000, 0.2 per 100, 0.2%. But ABC 12 here in Arizona stated that 1% of the people that got jabbed are coming down with the Delta variant. So if we only have 0.2% of the population, period, or 0.1 on the low end, that has got anything at all, and we got about 1.9 million people fully vaccinated, that means 100% of the people and a little bit more that are sick right now got the jab. There's no other way to interpret the data. S. Mitchell, you are blocked. Only the rest of us can see you. Finding a COVID vaccine is as hard as getting a voter ID. Or finding a COVID vaccine is as hard as showing your ID when you vote. Pirate Pete needs a wrench. All right. Say something, Pirate, so I can find you. Because I have to go to my other thing here. Oh, I see you, Pirate. Hold on. Whoops, almost reported you. I don't know for what, but it won't let me give out any more moderators? Wait a minute. Hold on. It won't let me. Why won't it let me? Let me refresh this. Now it will. I had to refresh everything. All right, you're set, Pirate. I thought maybe they limited me. Everybody else looks like a nut to a wrench. Dr. Shady Cat, why are you torturing us? Why am I torturing you? How am I torturing you, Doctor? Dr. Shady Cat. Being an instigator is better, huh, Mark? It says no thumbs down tonight. Wrench not needed. JT, I tell you, I could be the only one on the entire earth that is actually having a live stream of the return of Jesus Christ to the earth, and people would thumb it down. All this CV talk. Oh. Well. All right, Carbide. This will be the last one, though. You can't have too many moderators. There you go. No, Michael, it's not true that if you got the jab, you cannot donate blood. You cannot donate platelets. Why, I don't know. But we looked that up one night on the stream, and they said no to platelets, but yes to everything else. All right, Paul. Some good stuff tonight. I enjoyed it. Thanks for being here. You have to be jabbed to get a wrench. That's right, Sticks. Kay loves the sarcasm. There's no sarcasm here. No sarcasm at all, right? What's a lot, Carbide? Oh, yeah, Red Cross. Red Cross is the one that won't take platelets. That's excellent. British Brainwashing Corporation. That in Sky News, right? Of course, the U.S. is no better at all. New York Times, Washington Post. Just look at the Washington Post. They probably have a headline about Trump there. So obsessed. Breaking news. Biden defends Afghanistan exit. Taliban takeover happened faster than expected, President admits. What's happening in Afghanistan can't be reduced to images with historic parallels when we learn to see things in real time. We should have never, ever, ever, ever stepped foot in there to begin with. Last images from an Afghan war capture, a 20-year failure to acknowledge how badly the conflict was going. Should have never been there. What else we got? Unprecedented water shortage declared on Colorado River, triggering cuts for some in 2022. Well, too bad they're not getting the rain we're getting here in Arizona, because the Colorado River might be swollen above its banks. It's been raining every single night here for like 2 weeks, except for one night. Here's something important you need to know. Chris Cuomo returns to CNN for the first time since his brother resigned as New York governor. I know out of our, what do we have, roughly 100 people watching, 96? There's probably 0 that watch CNN and care. Bush administration hid truth on 2007 attack targeting Cheney amid fears it was losing war. Obama administration declared an end to combat in 2014, but U.S. troops kept fighting and dying. Well, if you expect the truth out of Obama's face, what are you daft? This is an interesting article. Masks in schools, explaining the debate over face coverings in classrooms. We have 320 million people roughly in this country. And you ready for the 7-day average of COVID cases in the country? Out of 320 million, 133,526. Since February of 2020, 36,800 have been reported. What's that, 1/100th of 1%? Something like that? No. Parent sucker punched the teacher. What for? Oh, 233 helmet? Yeah, all the cases. Yeah, if you search 233 new cases, comes up everywhere. Remember, they were doing stuff with numbers like that when this first happened, too. Mask, huh? It's about time people got 330 million. Well, you know, 10 million has to be at least 10 million. It's been a pandemic, Jason. 10 million have to have perished, right? Then I didn't see it, but I saw the thumbnail. The video of Arnold Schwarzenegger saying, "Get vax, screw your freedoms." Yes. He's always been a... Rhino doesn't even describe him. And I'm going to go 12 more minutes, guys. We're going to make 2 hours tonight. Arnold the pig was called maskless. Yeah. I bet you Arnold didn't roll up his sleeve. That's right, Mitchell. We all die from CV-19. We just don't know it. This is the resurrection of the dead. We're dead now. I say screw Arnold's freedoms, which means take away his freedom. How about behind bars? I'm sure we can get him on something. Biden says buck stops with me while pinning blame on Trump and many Afghans. Did you see the people clinging to the Air Force plane that was there? As Afghan falls, a haunting question faces military families. Why did we do all this? Yeah, if you are the parent, son, brother, sister, aunt, uncle of someone who died in a stupid, unnecessary, totally made up war, you should be more than upset. You should be able to have retribution. Another teacher attacked by a dad. Good. I'm not for attacks, but I'm for people to wake the hell up and do something. Arnold was Hitler Youth in Austria. Could be. Berkshire Hathaway, $434,000 per year. Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, where do you think all this money goes when they pass all these billion-dollar appropriation bills for C-19 and other things? And how about these multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure that they're going to pass? Every time something like that happens, Berkshire Hathaway, Apple, Tesla, Google, they all of a sudden, they just get this big boost in the stock market. Like all of a sudden, money has come in through the back door somehow. I don't know how that happens, but it does. This is why the stock market hasn't crashed since 2008, because they keep passing these trillions. And guess where it goes? Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, punch is nothing compared to what they deserve. We handed our education over to these people that aren't educated themselves. You ever talk to these teachers? You ever see these teachers get on TV and explain their position on something? It's like, where do these people come from? They don't speak good English, half of them. And they're just, I don't know. I know there's good teachers. But there's a lot of bad ones too. A lot of bureaucrats. And they're all indoctrinated to one way of thinking. Almost all. That's right. Stock market stimulus. The big boys and politician stimulus. We don't really send $20 million or $100 million, whatever the number. We don't really send that to Pakistan for them to do gender studies. Sorry, but we don't. I think the people over there figured out long before the United States was a nation that there's two genders. Why do they need us to send them $25 million? They don't. That's a funnel route. Yeah, Stanley doesn't ignore anyone. He's a good guy. I don't ignore people either. I just miss a lot. We have to stop giving authority over anything over our lives. Not only do we give tyrannical authority to other people to rule over us, but we pay them to do it. It's crazy. And there's no accountability, or very little. You have police forces that when they do bad things, they refuse to show the cam footage, and nobody holds them accountable. And you have the attorney generals that don't hold them accountable. We found out from last November was that the entire political system, the entire judicial system, and this is state, local, federal, and everything in between, it's all 100% corrupt. All of it. All of it. You got it, Maven. Paying for our own enslavement. It is pathetic, and it's got to stop. Renee, not right now. Actually, I don't even know your name, Renee. Enemy, or do I? We've got enough right now. The problem is if you get too many moderators. One could get rid of a lot of people that you don't want, and you don't know who it is that's doing it. It's like too many fingers in a. It's nothing against you. It's just we've got a ton now. We've got probably 7 or 8 now. But I appreciate it. I'll keep you in mind. Mayor of London, Ontario, Fred says Canada wants to mandate vaccine passports where you can't go to restaurants, sport events, movies, concert. Our freedom, our rights are gone. Even if we are fully vaccinated. This is where it's come to. And honestly, only libertarians saw a piece of this coming. Not many people otherwise did. Cool, Renee. Josh Hawley was covered up from Missouri Highway Patrol. I don't know that next word. Some shot Jeffrey Winehouse full. He was on Adderall and Prozac. Or how about what happened under, where was it? Under Halfbright. What was her name? Madeline Albright. When she went in under the Clinton administration against the people in Texas. And the media went all for it. The media was like, yeah, they're a danger. They're doing this to the kids, whatever. All it was is they wanted Second Amendment rights. And they wanted basically autonomy from the government. Can't have that. But again, we have to attack the beast whenever we can. If you go to a place that they're going to require you to wear something that you don't think you should have to wear, let them know that you are not going to give them your money, your hard-earned money, at their establishment. There's other establishments that don't require that, and you're going to visit them. It's stuff like that. When it starts hurting the pocketbook, that's when people will start changing. The entire elected Republican Party should hang themselves for being cowards and for treason. And the Democrats, too. I agree with you, Joe. All of them. All of them. We need to learn that doesn't matter who's in charge, it doesn't change. You can have both houses of Congress and the presidency. Both sides have several times in my lifetime, and nothing changes. Once we take control in 2022, what? What are you going to do? Nothing. Because you'll always be one vote short. Always. I don't care if you got 30 people in the majority, 31 will peel off at the end, and you'll be one vote short. That's exactly what this has been. This is precursor to the mark of the beast. This is programming. Yes, vax passports fakes are on the rise. This is not mark of the beast, but it is a precursor. And they know now most people would accept it. At least that's what it looks like anyway. Good for you, Stanley. Good for you. I'm waiting for douchebag here to come out any day now and say, the restaurants are closed, the gyms are closed, you can't go, you can't float down the Salt River. I don't know why that spreads COVID. And you can't go to movie theaters. That's what he hits every time. Because of the dangerous Delta variant and the Lambda variant, which might even be worse than the Delta variant. Have you heard of the Lambda variant? It's coming to a city near you. But you can go to Costco, and you can go to Walmart, and you can go to Best Buy. And who else has 10,000 employees? You can go there. But if it's mom and pop, you can't go there. Lambda. I'm not making that up. There is a Lambda variant they're starting to talk about. Why did the government buy 30,000 guillotines a few years ago? And what was it? 20-some million. What are they? They're like caskets, but they can have like 4 people in them. Where do you live, Joe Bond? I'm sure you've told me. It's just my brain doesn't hold that stuff. We didn't see how God protects his elect. Yeah, me too. If we are heading where I think we're heading, the people of God have some really, really, really good stuff coming. For the FEMA camps. Helmet, no, I agree. This world is done. Charlie, you okay? Charlie? Just made a weird noise. All right, guys. So thank you all for coming to the premiere. Let me see. Who was the first person to comment? Carbide, followed by Pirate Pete and Mitchell McNeely, and then Joe Bond. S. Mitchell and Pirate Pete. Ben Dover, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stanley. Sticky H2O, and then there's one more. Back for more. You were the first 10 people to comment on Wake the Republic. So good for you. You're in the top 10. You're in the top 10 list. So now that we know this works, I next time may try to do a double stream here and to Mr. Thrive and Survive as a test for going here, because this is a stepping stone. Like I said, the problem with Mr. Thrive and Survive is it's under daily attack. I have to be super, super, super careful what I say and do there, because it's already got enough strikes to where one more it can go away. That's the problem there. This is clean here. Always go by the CDC, the WHO, and any other authorities. Always believe in them. Do whatever they tell you to do, do it. Okay? Don't buy federal products. Don't buy NAC. So we got to keep this channel clean. But, I just found out Rumble. This is why I want to go to my own channel, guys. Rumble is taking down videos that they don't like, just like YouTube is. Rumble is. Remember, that was supposed to be the place to go. So I want to get a stream like this going on my own private web server. And then when we're 30 minutes into this or whatever, say, okay, you want to talk really about everything without censorship, hop on over to here, and then we'll be able to do it. So this is all stepping stone stuff, but I had to get off. I had to get this going before Mr. Thrive and Survive disappeared. And let me see. We have 953 subscribers. So 47 more will be able to actually enable Super Chat again. And all the other restrictions, as far as I know of, disappear. So as soon as we get to 1,000, spread the news, put it social media, whatever. This is the place to hang out. If you're even if you're not of like mind. That's right. God controls it all. And I agree with you, Danny. I can't put it up there, but I agree with you. Yeah, for the people of God, Things are looking up. Because you know what? We're out of here before Mark of the Beast. Thank you, Bonnie. God bless you too. Glad you're here. So if you haven't subscribed, do it. Do it right now. I think this is where we're going to be. We'll see how things go. I get strikes on Mr. Thrive and Survive sometimes within 10 minutes after I finish a stream. So let's see what happens here. Are you considering posting some of your videos here to increase your view time up to 4,000 hours once you get to 1,000 subs? What does 4,000 hours get you, Kay? Most of my new videos are going to come here. What I'll probably do is I'll probably put an announcement on Mr. Thrive and Survive that a new video is on Wake the Republic with the link like I did with the stream. Until we get enough people over there, then I won't have to do that. I've got some stuff I want to do, and I'm going to put it on this channel. And for those who are waiting for the bodybuilding program, whatever, I think I'm just about ready to start recording that. So that's where I'm at with that one. KS monetization, I think, can start at 1,000. I don't think you even need 4,000 hours. I think it's just 1,000 subscribers. I could be wrong. But I think at 1,000, well, no, because once we get to 1,000, I'll try to activate monetization, which will turn on the super chat if I want it. And we'll see if it works. Thank you, Carbide. Appreciate it. Thanks for your contribution. Thanks for everybody's contribution to the chat tonight. Thanks for all the supporters that keep me going. You really keep me going. I know I say it over and over, but I'm $400 short every month, and you guys help me fill the bill so that I don't have to keep depleting savings to where I have nothing. So thank you all for however you support, just by being here and being decent people in the chat. That's support too. So God bless each and every one of you. We'll be back Wednesday night, figure on the same time. I think we might get a break in the weather Wednesday. If we do, we'll be a half hour earlier. Don't count on it. And we'll see how it goes. So God bless. Take care. We'll see you Wednesday, hopefully, God willing. And remember, starve the beast. Yes, I know Salty Cracker, Fred. I like Salty Cracker. It is what it is, Kay. We'll figure it out. Mark, no, I don't have a P.O. box, but everything else I have is in the description. They're all saying bye, Charlie. I don't know what happened to Charlie. He made a noise and then disappeared. Anyway, God bless, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.